Dear students, welcome to all of you to my online video class. Let me first introduce myself before starting my class. I am Ajay Roman, Assistant English Teacher, Alipur Secondary School, Alipur Sector. Today I am going to take English class of class 8. Before starting my class, I want to give you some suggestion about the most remarkable disease of this present time in this century 2020. The most significant issue is COVID-19, and you know that this disease has stopped the wheel of development of all the countries in the world, and that's why we should recover, we should overcome the shortage of improvement, shortage of development of our economy, and the students should maintain all kinds of hygienic health rules. That means I want to give you some advice, such as you must save yourself from getting rid of this disease, and that's why you have to use hand sanitizer, mask when out of your house, so that we may prevent this disease. Dear students, our today's topic is voice sense. This is very important factor of English grammar, because if we do not know the use of voice, the use of tense, we cannot write or we cannot talk to others in English. It is very difficult to understand English without knowing the knowledge of voice. Actually, every sentence is based on the structure of voice, whether it is passive or it is active. This is very important factor of English language. First of all, voice and tense. So dear students, our today's topic is voice. Some months ago, I took a class on voice of class 7, and today I am with you to discuss this item again. So let's go to our topic. Our today's topic is voices. Voice is of two kinds, active voice and passive voice. And you know the definition of voice sense. Voice sense, voice is a kind of changing of parts of the subject. Sometimes subjects do their activities directly, and sometimes the activity of the subject is imposed on the on object. When the activities of subject imposed on object, it is called passive voice. And first of all, we have to know the rule of changing active to passive. To change active to passive, at first we know the structure. While we go to do passive voice, the structure of passive voice is sense subject. Sense subject plus verb plus verb 3. This is the main rule or main form of passive voice. sense subject plus verb plus sense subject plus verb plus verb 3. This is the actual rule of passive voice. And we may add some prepositions at the end of the verb 3, such as by, such as with, such as at, in, to, etc. We may add some prepositions if necessary. But when we should add an object, we must add some preposition before that objects. Now I am going to give an example of changing voice, such as he learns English. He learns English. Here, he is subject, not sense subject. He is subject. And learns is verb, and English is object. Actually, we make or we can change active to passive when the verb is active, and if the verb takes object, that verb is called transitive verb. We must remind this, we must think this of this matter. We must keep in mind that if the verb is not transitive, we cannot do the verb into passive mood. Okay, dear student, if the verb is intransitive, we can never change voice into passive. Here, learn is a verb. Learn is a verb. And what kind of verb is it? It is transitive verb because it takes object English. So we must do the change the active verb into passive one because this verb is transitive. And when the verb is transitive, we must change the voice, change the active voice into passive one. So English is object, and we have to change the object into subject. English. English is called sense subject because English in the active voice English was in the position of object, but in passive voice it will be the sense subject because object must be changed into object in passive voice. So English is sense subject, and we have to take an auxiliary verb, that means verb. In every passive voice, verb is a must. Verb is a must. So it makes a verb according to the verb of the sentence, according to the verb of the tense. This is present indefinite tense. So English will take am is verb. English will take am is verb or is, because English is singular, so it will take is. And then verb 3. Verb 3. Learn is verb 1 because it is present indefinite tense, and the first participle of verb learn is learned. Learn, and then we need this kind of preposition because that is the subject of this voice, and if the subject of passive voice prevails in the sentence, we must need to change the subject into object, and that's why we need some preposition before that object. And there are so many prepositions by we add in to, and I will show you today. There are some preposition, use the preposition before the object. There are some specific preposition of a specific preposition which come before some objects and which come after some verbs. I will show you. And generally we take by at the end of the past participle form, or before the object. Here is subject and its object is him, and him will be written at the end of preposition by. Generally we will take by in passive voice before object. Okay, dear learners, you must remind it, you must bear in mind it that when we change active voice in passive on, we must keep a preposition by before object. Okay, dear students. Our next example, I will show you some specific area of active voice in passive voice. Okay, dear learners. And our next example is dear learners, I have already given an example of active voice, and there are two objects in this sentence. One is me and the other is a beautiful picture. There are two objects here. One is indirect object and the second is direct object. When there are two objects in a sentence, the object is of two kinds. One is indirect object and the other is direct object. So me is indirect object. ID, that means indirect object. IO, indirect object. And beautiful picture is direct object. DO, contraction form of direct object. DO. Picture is direct object because it is objective. It is an object. It is not a person. When the object is a person, he is called indirect object. That means I. And when the object is not a person, it indicates an object or article, anything in the environment. It is called direct object. So when two objects in a sentence, we can change the active voice in passive voice in two ways. The first of all, if I take me at first, me will be changed into I because the subject form of me is I. Short, past tense. So we will keep was according to the rule. Was. So past participle form. Past participle form short, short, short. Same. So a beautiful picture. It will be answered. It will be answered because when we will change indirect object, then we have to keep other object answered. Isn't it, dear learners? By him. This is the one rule. This is the one rule of active voice in passive on with two objects. And the other is I may take another object, a beautiful picture. A beautiful picture was shown me. Here maybe the past participle form of shown. Shown me by him. there are two ways of changing active into passive because the sentence having two objects. One is direct object, immediate object, and the other is indirect object. When we take indirect object in the subject position, we must keep the other object unchanged. And that's why in the same way, if I take direct object in the position of subject, we must keep the other object unchanged. Okay, dear learners, in this way we may change this sentence having two objects. And our next example. Now I am giving another type of example of using different types of objects. You must follow. Dear learners, if you observe the sentence I have written on the blackboard is we elected him chairman. The student may be confused to see this type of objects. Though there are two objects, but they are not actually objects. One is object and one is complement. Because we elected him. He is an object, but chairman is not object. Because when subject and object, because him is an object, but chairman is complement. Because him and chairman is the same person. Him is equal to chairman. But here, me and beautiful picture are not the same person because me is a person, but beautiful picture is not a person. But in this example, him is a person, and also chairman is a person, and him indicates the chairman, and him is equal to chairman. So chairman is not object, chairman is a complement. When complement in a sentence, that complement can never be changed from object area into the subject area. The complement will never be changed. The complement will always be unchanged in that position, and it will not be changed into subject form. So, dear students, we must take him into the subject position, but we can never chairman in the subject position. That's why he will be changed into he, him will be changed into he. Elected, past indefinite tense, and that's why we will take was elected. Past participle are the same. Elected, and chairman will be unchanged because it is not an object but a complement. So complement can never go to the subject position. It will always remain in the object position, or will always remain after the past participle form of verbs. So he was elected chairman by us. Isn't it, dear students? So you should bear in mind that when complement in a sentence, you will never change the complement into subject, because complement will never go to the subject position. So it will always stick in your brain when you are going to change active to passive. Okay. And our next example. Dear students, now I am going to write some preposition with some verbs, and basically this type of verb take some specific preposition, some specific or some fixed preposition after them. So dear students, follow me and be with me to watch this type of preposition, such as no. No is a verb which takes to after it. It can never take while. So many students make mistakes in changing of voices in case of no. When they see no, they automatically write why after no. But we must keep in mind that no will always take to, not why. Okay, dear students. Next one. Contain will take in. Cease will take with. Satisfy will take yet or with. Marvel yet or with. Astonish yet or with. Surprise at or with. Well, now I will give an example using this type of verbs in active voice. First of all, he knows me. That's it. I knows present tense, so I will take am according to the rule of passive structure. I am known. Know past participle form is known. Known to me, to him. Look at the blackboard carefully. I am known not by him but to him. When we see no, we must write the preposition after no. The preposition is to. We can never write by. Okay, dear student. Next example is Penny seized the writer. Penny seized the writer. Passive form. The writer Since it is a first form, so we must need auxiliary was or were. So the writer is singular, so we may take was, ceased, ceased with penny. Okay, then learner. Now I have written panic ceased to writer. The passive form is the writer was ceased with penny, not by penny. You must keep in mind this area. When cease is a verb, when cease is written in passive voice, we must take with after cease, not by penny. If the students write by after cease, it will be wrong sentence. So, the students, you must follow the rule. And if you follow this rule, you will memorize this word and their preposition. You will never make mistakes in writing active to passive. Okay, dear students. Now I will show you the difference between add and will. There are some words I have written: satisfy, marvel, astonish, surprise, add will, every after every verb, add or will, add or will. When we write add and when we write will, this is the main factor. Now I am giving two examples of this two prepositions. First of all, his behavior marveled us. And the second example, he marveled us. Passive. I have written two examples of the same verb, marvel. First of all, his behavior marveled us, and the second one, he marveled us. There are two types of examples here using the same verb, marvel. Now I am going to solve this problem. First of all, us is object, so we may use we. Marveled is past indefinite tense, and according to the passive rule, we must take auxiliary verb after the verb, after the subject. And marveled past indefinite, so we will need was or were. As the subject is plural, so we should take were, because were is also plural. We were marveled at his behavior. At his behavior. Why I wrote yet after marvel, and in this position I will also complete the second rule. As also we change it to we were marveled with him. Dear students, now I am going to explain these two sentences, isn't it, dear students? First of all, his behavior marveled us. We were marveled at his behavior. Why I take yet after marveled, and in the second sentence, we marveled us. We were marveled with him. Why same verb, but one sentence it takes that and another sentence it takes with. Why? Because satisfy, marvel, astonish, surprise, there are so many verbs of English using taking, at or with after them. Because why? Why? When behavior indicates of a person. When marvel indicates any behavior of a person, then it will take at after the word. And that's why I have written at, because his behavior, it is not he, it is not a person, it indicates the objective particle of a person, character, that means character. When this verb indicates any character of a person, it will take at after the verb. And when marvel indicates any subject, it will take with after with. Because he marveled, he is not a character, he is a person, and it is changed into object form. So it is not a character, it is a person. So it takes with. Marvel takes with when it indicates person, and marvel takes that when it indicates the character of the person. Isn't it, dear students? You must follow this item when you will go to change any active verb into passive verb. You must follow this item. Dear students, there are so many rules in passive verb, active to passive verb, but because of shortage of time, I cannot take all the rules at a time. I hope I will help you in active and passive voice when I will again arrive in this area, and I hope you will be benefited by watching my video class. And I will again suggest you to maintain social distance, to maintain health rule when you go out of your house, and you must staying at home until our school opens. Till then, Allah Hafiz. Thank you all.